Here it is, the top 5 representations of death in pop culture. Number 5 is Homer Simpson from, The Simpsons, one of the Treehouse of Horrors. Homer becomes death, and it's pretty. First of all, the whole Benny Hill, Scooby-Doo type of chase sequence happens early in the. Not even the whole episode, because Treehouse of Horrors is like 3 short stories in an episode. At the beginning of the story, the chase scene at the beginning of the story is pretty funny. And it's basically like Benny Hill meets Scooby-Doo sort of thing. And I liked it. It was a lot of fun. And then when Homer somehow takes out Death with a bowling ball, and then the Green just go, ow, and then collapses. So when Homer, for some reason, puts on Death's cloak, he becomes Death. It was not, that whole sequence was great. Not to mention the scene where he goes to claim somebody, and where's the regular guy? Where's Doug? Yeah, it's Jasper, but where's the regular guy? Where's Doug? Oh, I like Doug. The whole scene, the whole story is pretty funny, and then they try to do something serious towards the end, and then it goes right back being the comedic. So Homer was a great Grim Reaper, and at times he seemed to enjoy his job. That's a good one. Number 4 is actually a comic book character from the Zenescope comics. From Zenescope. Zenescope is an independent comic distributor, and its main stories are the grim fairy tales stories that, this from the aughts and the early 2010s. I used to read those a lot, and they introduced this kind of a sort of a horror anthology series where each, just like the Grim Fairy Tales, each story was separate. Where in that one, the fairy tales, the storyteller is usually a character named Sella. Where this one, it was a Grim Reaper, and for some reason they tried to make the Grim Reaper hot, like she was red hair, big breasts, but with the cloak and a lot of the time. But she would disguise herself as human in order to trick people into, listening to her story, and then. There's usually a big twist where the person she's talking to ends up dead. But at the same time, as a character, she's very alluring. She's able to get people to follow her and also listen to her story, not knowing that they're about to get killed. It's interesting, that representation of death. And I've never seen someone trying to make death hot somehow. It was interesting to me. Number 3 is one of the horsemen from Supernatural. I like this death because he is such a you are so beneath me kind of a death. And really, when you're as old as death is, since basically the beginning of time, you don't view humans as anything more than dirt underneath your fingernails. And there's his introduction is great when some dude just brushes against him, he's like, get out of the way, and he just does. And the guy drops dead. It was great. It was really cool. I think it was more like this, just threw off his shoulder, and the guy just boom dies on the spot. Great introduction. Not to mention the scene at the pizzeria when he talks to Dean, and he has this, who the hell are you to talk to me? You are nothing to me. It's a great scene, and even though Death only shows up, man, that's like the second to last episode or something like that. Yeah, he only shows up like very briefly in the series, and that's it. And then they go to the series finale, which, like I said, I didn't really. I ever talked about that. I didn't. But yeah, good representation of death as kind of like, I'm so above you, you don't even know. Number 2, this one was tough. I was really debating which one to go with, but I decided, since it is, the spooky season, I had to go with the one that's not as spooky as number 2, and probably the spookier one at number 1. And so number 2 is the Big Bad Wolf from Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish. Talk about one that you just did not see coming. as being so good because the whole presentation, he doesn't have that much screen time, but every moment you know he's there. Every time he shows up, it's like, oh crap, it's him kind of a moment. Especially his introduction to Puss in Boots, him actually besting Puss in a fight. Him is like being nonchalant when he's saying, everyone thinks there'll be one to defeat me, but no one's escaped me yet. And having it be a wolf, and like an actual big bad wolf, not like the little pansy one we saw in Shrek and Shrek 2, but this an actual big bad wolf. And not to mention the scene where in the cave was fantastic. The whole scene with it, every time he shows up, you're worried, you're scared for Puss, and you know this guy's just, not only is he doing his job, but he's enjoying it. And the fact that he's basically teaching Puss a lesson about enjoying and appreciating what he has, even if it is late in his lives. Yeah, great representation of death. But the number one representation of death, in my opinion, is actually a shadow in Final Destination. This is what I really like about this movie, is that it's not a killer, it's not some psychopath, it is death itself. And these people have cheated his design, and now he is coming at them. And sometimes they get little glances of him while things are being set up, so you see little visions of it. It's just a flash of darkness, and then some darkness in a mirror or in a puddle of water or something like that, and then it's gone. But you know it's there. You know it's coming at them. You know it's a force of nature. It really felt like a force of nature that was coming for them, not some serial killer. And I really liked that. And it was so well done, so eerie in that you never know when it's going to strike, but you know it's going to. That to me, it is hands down the best representation of death in pop culture. What do you think? What's your favorite representation of death in pop culture? Let me know. And I have a couple ideas for movies I want to do in November. Try to get around to them when I can, but work might get in the way of it. But if it doesn't, I'll definitely post my thoughts and ideas. And happy Dia de los Muertos. Take care. Bye.